Good morning. Welcome to the Better Business Workshop. Today's topic, in fact, the topic of all of our lives every morning this week, is from chaos to control. And specifically today, we're asking the question, what's your destination? Are you clear on your destination? Do you know where you're going? And to help me kind of talk through that, I'm joined by my colleague, Mark Miller. Hello, Mark. Good morning. How are you doing today?
Good morning on this chilly Monday morning. I think it's May, but it doesn't feel that way.
It doesn't at all. A bit of a shocker over the weekend, right? But the good thing is the summer's coming, and that's going to be our destination. A bit of a cliche.
Well done, Bob. Very good. Yeah. Destination sunshine. That's what we want.
Destination sunshine is great. So, Mark, we're going to talk with the folks today about their destination, from getting from chaos to control, which all ties back to our 6 steps ladder, right? So we're in that phase of mastery, and we're specifically looking today about the destination of our business. So let's get some slides here working. So we've got a recap of the 6 steps model over on the right here, and we're thinking specifically about mastery and building our foundations. There were 4 steps which we talked through last week about mastery, and one of them was destination mastery, and there are 3 important components of destination mastery, Mark, right?
Yeah, the important thing is this mastery is the because I'm in Nottingham, I say mastery. I think you're further south, might you say mastery.
Mastery,
but whether mastery or mastery, or the Australian version is mastery. Yeah,
exactly.
We have the basics here, Mark, and actually it's a bit strange thinking, well, why is vision something really basic? And the answer is, I take it straight back to the athlete, really. The athlete who's working really seriously has a very clear vision of what they want to achieve. They may not be a gold medal podium, because most athletes aren't, but they want to achieve a certain time. They want to achieve a certain proficiency. They perhaps want to achieve to participate in certain events if you're a marathon runner or something like this. So you have this overall vision of where you want to get to. There's a lot of work to do now, but you know where you're headed. Most business owners, I've found, aren't really aware of where they're going. I was in the same category for many, many years. You're not really aware of where you're headed. And where we should be headed is a business that doesn't really need us to run it, so that we can have the lifestyle that we want.
Yeah, absolutely, Mark. So building on that, right, with that vision. So we referred to this before, but Stephen Covey said in his fantastic book that changed my life, by the way, 7 habits of highly effective people. One of his 7 habits was start with the end in mind. So this is what we mean by vision mastery, right? Or why it's important. And an example. So a vision, your vision statement, if you like, could potentially, it's a long range statement about where you want to go and what you're trying to achieve. What are you striving for? And it kind of sets the intent and the tempo of the business. And an example of that would be, if you take the Action Coach vision, if you like, is world abundance through business re-education. And that does a number of things, that statement, right? World, it sets the geographical scale. Where are we trying to go? That's our ambition. Abundance, it tells us what we're trying to achieve, because abundance means there's more than enough to go around. So we're here to try and set abundance or achieve abundance. And business re-education, well, that's exactly what we do. So it kind of very neatly pulls those 3 things together.
Absolutely right.
Every business should have that vision, right?
Well, what struck me was I found out recently how they got to the moon. You know, back in '68 when they did it with gyros and a ZX Sinclair Spectrum computer, which was crazy. It's basically a series of course corrections, right? You know you're going to go to the moon. That's your vision. Yeah. And you're constantly making corrections. You're not always dead on track. And that's the way our business lives go. Yeah. And I'd encourage people to think of vision in 2 ways. One is have a vision of the lifestyle you want. That's the first selfish thing for you and your family. Yeah. What's your vision for the lifestyle you want to reach? Yeah. The second thing is, what kind of business do I want to build when I've got that lifestyle? What do I want people to say about my business? What do I want them to I may be involved more or less in it. It's my choice at that point. But what do people want to say about the business that I'm running? What kind of reputation do I want? What impact does that business need to make? You can share that with the staff, with the people that join you, to get them to share your vision for the business.
Mark, I mean, you just hit a brilliant example there about course correction going to the moon. But actually, that vision was set back in 62, I think 62, 63, when Kennedy, by the end of this decade, we'll put a man on the moon.
And they did.
So that was his vision. That was the long-term vision that he set. And then they did the next thing, Mark. So in that example, the vision was put a man on the moon by the end of this decade.
Yep.
And what they then set was, as you just mentioned, a bunch of goals, which was how they were going to get there. So the goals were the stepping stones that they were going to take to put a man on the moon.
Yeah,
right?
I was going to say exactly the same word, stepping stones, which thinking of flying to the moon, a stepping stone sounds a bit weird because you're flying. But yeah, absolutely that point, doesn't it? I was going to say stepping stone myself. It's these weekly goals, monthly goals, annual goals, quarterly goals, which we're all used to in business. But if we get rigorous at setting the goals, which are the stepping stones, Mark, exactly as you say, we'll get the vision. We'll reach the vision.
Absolutely. So you got to have a long-term goal. Long-term for most people in business is probably not much far next week, right? But we got to be looking a bit further ahead than that. Maybe you might have a 5-year goal, which is difficult for most to achieve. But kind of get really clear in terms of what your internal goals are. What do you want to achieve as a business owner?
Yeah.
And get really clear in terms of what you need the business to achieve to deliver your personal goals as well. And then break them down into bite-sized chunks. That could be an annual goal, a 90-day goal, a monthly goal, a weekly goal, a daily goal, but get crystal clear because they all add up, right? We talked about Olympic athletes. And the best example that I always think of is Steve Redgrave. It's just Steve Redgrave now. He probably didn't set off to go and achieve 5 consecutive gold medals at rowing, but that's where he got to. His goal was that he knew that in each Olympic cycle he had to go 1 second faster, and everything that he did every single day was building towards going 1 second faster in 4 years' time, and that's how he achieved 5 consecutive gold medals. Right? He broke them down into bite-sized chunks.
And I'd real quickly, I'd just say on this Monday morning, this chilly May Monday morning, that the word mastery on this slide is so important. Don't be happy with setting vague goals as a business owner. Get really good at it. Say to yourself, I'm going to be a master of setting goals. I'm going to have a mastery of setting goals here. I'm going to be good at it because those that are good at it are good at business and get stuff done.
Absolutely, Mark. So then, if we're clear on our vision, where are we going for the long term?
Then we've got the why.
We're clear about our goals, and then it's about, well, what's our why? So what do we mean by that?
Yeah, well, the important thing for me is that you're very, very clear about your underlying reason why, what it is that you want to feel and sense in terms of your contribution back to the society, to the family that you're in. That's broadly the way I'd phrase it, Mark. Having a deeper purpose.
Yeah, exactly, Mark. And that can be an external why and an internal why, right? So your external why is, how do you want to help the community that you thrive in or that you work in, or your customers, or the bigger purpose? What is your greater why? And then you have to have a personal why as well. What are you trying to achieve for yourself? What do you want to get out of this? What's in it for you? Because you've got to have something that kind of makes you tick as well. Right.
There's a problem-solving technique we've all probably heard of, and kids are brilliant at this. It's called the 5 whys. And ask yourself, or try 3 times, it's enough. It'll drive you crazy.
Yeah.
And ask yourself, well, why am I in business? Yeah. And then when you get the answer to that, which might be to make money, so, well, why do I want to make money? And keep asking why 4 or 5 times, and you'll get to your real core reason why you want to be doing stuff. That's what you focus on in order to motivate yourself and to get there. And then you can get what you want.
Brilliant. Well done, Mark. Fantastic. So we're going to be here. That was a great session, by the way. Thanks, Mark, for helping us to go through that destination mastery. We're going to be here again tomorrow looking at another step in mastery. So we'll be back here live at 8 a.m. There's a ton of stuff over in the social media communities if you want to go. And this is about the 30th live we've done consecutively now, Mark.
Yeah.
And there's about 50 more to come. So, but there's a ton of great stuff over. There's a ton of great stuff over on Facebook in the Better Business Workshop and on LinkedIn and in YouTube as well. If you want to jump on a call with us, it's entirely complimentary. Just book a session at calendly.com/Action Coach Milton Keynes, and entirely complimentary, 15 or 30 minutes. We'd love to have a chat with you about this stuff. And you can also jump over on the website as well, and there's some really good content there. So as I said, we're going to be back here at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Mark, it's been absolutely brilliant to
You
see
too.
you. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Go and find your central heating. And I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow morning. Thanks for joining,
Absolutely.
Greg.
Take
Bye
care,
now.
all. Bye bye.